can't stop. I can't be changed while recording.
Oh,
all right, so it can't be changed while recording, Jason. So I had to close that real fast. Hey, man, if you watched last week's episode, we're taking it to a whole nother level. I think that was a couple weeks though, Jason.
Yeah.
Anyways,
that was a while.
Hey, you're watching a fantasy football show. This is the Fantasy Red Zone. I am Tyler Big Turd Ward. And the guy to the opposite side of me is Jason, the lucky bastard Uthan Wolt.
Yeah.
And hey, this is our drinking episode. Coors Light. I was drinking 805 right before this. Man, sometimes Coors Light is good and sometimes it is terrible. I remember drinking it, man, out of a keg or, dude, if you order at a bar, it is like water and amazing. For some reason, man, when I bring it home out of a can, these mountains aren't blue. The mountains are blue, and it still tastes pretty bad. But we're going to get through it, Jason.
Yeah.
Hey, we got mid-round gyms, Jason. This was a huge hit last year, man, as far as success. People didn't watch it, but we had some huge hits off of this. Before we get into all of this, though, Jason, we need to tell the public how they can help the show because we need it. We need it more than ever. We need your support. Like and subscribe, baby.
Yeah, like and subscribe. If you want to leave us a comment about these mid-round gyms that we're going after, there's actually quite a bit that we could have talked about. There could have been like, dude, I'm hearing like an echo. There was like, what, Tyler, you had like 25 people you could have talked about. Well, if there's something that we didn't talk about that you want to discuss, let it down in the comment. Let us know in the comments. And we're also on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. And Tyler, we have a Patreon, bro. Where you at?
Are you serious? We have a Patreon person?
No, Tyler. No, you did this last time. We have a Patreon for people to subscribe to.
Please support us, man. We need a Patreon. It would be the first money we ever made on this show. Come on, man. I'm still making payments on my laptop.
Hey, Jamie's in the chat, and he's joining the intro, and he says, Jamie, sexy Mexi, Craig, checking in. I love it, dude. Sexy Mexi, checking in.
Well, isn't he from Iowa?
Indianapolis, isn't he? Or he's just a Colts fan. Maybe he is from Iowa.
Oh, yeah, maybe he's from Indiana. I don't. He's from the Midwest, but I was like, Mexi? All right, Jason, sorry. I got to press mute every time because I got the echo cancellation. We wanted to play that music. So now I got to press mute every time you're playing. But hey, we're going to get into the news and the brews. I don't know if you can see it over my head.
Iowa,
man. We got the news. We got the brews. And Jason, there was a lot of news. Actually, man, like camp started end of last week, middle of last week. So shit is going down in the NFL that we need to pay attention to. Jason, Lamar Jackson misses practice again with illness. I think it was 2 years ago. He missed a ton of stuff. Game 1, dude, he got sick. This fool gets sick a lot. And when you read the comments about underneath all these news stuff, it's all about Alfredo, shrimp Alfredo Parmesan. Apparently, that's what gave him the shits that one time in the game when he had to leave at halftime. And now that's everybody's joke is Parmesan, dude, Alfredo. Last time I ate Alfredo, I stood up all night. So I do understand Lamar Jackson. But yeah, so his stomach, I think, has issues here. He is sick a lot. And I know he's a quarterback. There might be other players in the NFL that get sick all the time too. But, dude, spotlight on him, 2-time MVP. He gets sick a ton. And missing minicamp right now kind of sucks.
Yeah, there's a lot of cheese in Alfredo, Tyler. A lot of dairy, and that would keep just about anybody up at night. Especially, I don't like seafood, so you'll never catch me eating shrimp Alfredo. Come on, dog. I ain't doing it. Pasta in the sea. That's what they call it. Pasta in the sea.
That doesn't even. You're talking about, like, what do you mean pasta in the sea? Is that what they call shrimp?
Alfredo's pasta, isn't it not?
It didn't make any sense.
No?
Anyways, yeah. But, man, watching my niece make Alfredo from scratch, all it was shit I can't eat. Anyways, Jason, moving forward. But, Jason, are you concerned about Lamar Jackson missing? I mean, he's done well every single year, even missing a lot of stuff, man. But another year missing. This is not minicamp. This is, what what's this called now, Jason? We attended the Cowboys. What is this?
Training camp?
Training camp. Thank you. Yeah, man, we saw those Jason Witten in real life, dog. Jason, moving forward, Tua
To
got
answer your
paid.
question, no, I'm not afraid.
Thank you for clearing that up. Jason,
Yeah.
Tua Tagovailoa got paid, man, 4 years, $212 million, $53 million per year. And you're like, holy shit, that sounds like a lot, Jason. Do you think Dak Prescott, well, okay. Well, let me talk about this first. So $53 million per year, that is less than Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is at 55, a little more than Kirk Cousins, pretty much the same as Goff. And so when you think about it that way, as valuable as he is in that system to the Dolphins, and they are in win now mode, you know, with Tyreek Hill and everything else, man, they just paid Waddle. So yeah, it makes sense to me. They traded for Chubb last year, so they're trying to win now, man. So it is actually not that bad of a contract. It's actually pretty good to get Tua right there. And my question is, how would you feel about Dak Prescott getting $53 million per year? Would you like that contract?
Yeah, I just want him on the team, dude. I just want him on the team. Whatever he will accept, yes, I will take it. I will take it. It's you would think like so. Normally, every time we get like a contract extension from a quarterback, it's always like NFL record highest of all time, and like Tua, didn't he lead the league in passing yards last year? I believe he did. And can you remember what quarterback rank he was, what he finished as?
No, he had a bad second half of the year, but he was the top 5 in the first half.
He finished outside the top 10. He finished outside the top 10 and led the league in passing yards. You know why he was outside the top 10? Because he's not a rushing quarterback. Remember that when you're doing your draft.
Yeah, and Raheem Mostert, what, dude, had 21 total touchdowns, so that took away a lot of touchdowns from him as well.
18 rushing, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, but they were 9th in run. We'll talk about Raheem Mostert later, Jason. That might be a mid-round gem. I can't just spill the beans right now. I need these people to watch the show. God, come on.
Let's get through.
Anyways, moving forward, Jason, did you see Russell Wilson sitting out of practice with a calf injury? Fields taking reps or whatever with the first team. But hey, Joe Burrow calf injury last year. You saw how that ended up. We got Aaron Rodgers out here getting calf injuries before his popping his Achilles. Russell Wilson might be our age, Jason. I got to see how old he is, but he's pretty goddamn old. So we need to pay attention to this. I was listening to the beat reporter for the Steelers, and he was like, he was out here pulling a sled during running drills the first day of practice. I don't know what he was trying to prove to people, but now he's got a calf injury. So I thought it was funny that the quarterback's out there running with the sled, and it's like it's not like they need Russell Wilson to run the ball a lot. They got Najee Harris and Ty Warren.
Well, you know that dude's gonna train hard AF. They showed some highlights of Justin Fields at practice, and I'll tell you what, he can hit a slant. Look at this amazing throw, and it was like a slant. It was a 5-yard slant to Pickens. It's like, yeah, Tyler could do that. He used to do that every Thanksgiving. And he would throw a pump fake into it.
Yeah, I could throw harder than anybody, but only 1 out of every 99 or 1 out of every 99 is a spiral. Everything else is end over end. It's going to bruise your sternum and only go 10 yards.
People only remember the spiral.
Yeah. I'm glad that's what you bring up all the time and all the crazy shit. It's funny that you talked about Pickens, Jason, because George Pickens and wide receiver coach had a heated exchange over effort. So there's kind of like a stigma around George Pickens. He's very talented, but it's not all about his route running. He's not like he's trying to get better at film and route running. And this is a story that's kind of supporting this, Jason. So we all want George Pickens to break out, man. It's like, what's going on here? I think Calvin Austin is the other wide receiver there that might break out. But this is not a good sign for George Pickens that he's already getting in a heated exchange with his coach over lack of effort. And this reminded me of heavyweights, Jason. He's all, dinner, Tony Perkis, Ben Stiller was like, dinner is canceled tonight due to lack of effort.
Yeah, over the intercom, he's like, come here, you devil log. Yeah. Yeah, I guess George Pickens is just relying on the spectacular catch. Like he's good in contested catches, but there's so much more to that. Two wide receivers, man. There's so much more. Everybody wants this guy to break out, dude. He just needs to put in, I guess, the more effort. He needs to block. He needs to block more as a wide receiver, man.
So I do have him ranked 28th, which is the same as his ADP. He is going as a flex option with wide receiver 2 upside, but I don't think wide receiver 1 is in the realm of possibilities there. Jason, the Lions kicker tore hamstring and out for the season. The Lions kicker is somebody that I like to target in that division in domes with the Vikings, high scoring team. I know that Campbell. Oh, dude. Actually, I might not want to target this guy. Is Campbell the guy that never goes for it? I think he always goes for it. At the same time, man, the Lions score enough points with that offensive line this season. We need to pay attention to who they're going to pick up if you're looking for a kicker in the very last round that nobody's paying attention to.
Yep. Hey, Mo G said Jordan Love got paid.
Jordan Love got paid? Well, because they were saying that.
It just came through. Breaking news from Mo G. He got paid 4-year, $220 million. Makes him the highest paid quarterback in NFL history. I was just talking about. That's so crazy. Tua, you don't rush, bro. You don't rush. Sit back and watch the Baco boy make more than you.
Hey, Bakersfield, man. We're from Bakersfield. A lot of trash people there, but hey, dude, sometimes we end up okay, Jason. I'm not putting myself at Jordan Love's level. Obviously, he's better than us. But, hey, man, congratulations to him. Guess who his agent is, Jason? He's got the same agent as Tua Tagovailoa. As soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, dude. So they want to do Tua's deal first and then make Love the highest paid, maybe. So Joe Burrow's making 50. Yeah, Joe Burrow's making 55 a year. And God damn it, dude, I just had this in my brain. Who did I just say earlier, Jason?
They want to make Love.
Trevor Lawrence. So Trevor Lawrence 55 and Joe Burrow 55. So he must be making 56 or something like that. All right, man. Moving forward, Rams starting cornerback, Jason Kendrick. I forget something Kendrick, like DeAndre Kendrick, D something Kendrick. God, I was going to write it down, but I didn't. Tore his ACL out for the season. I'm really liking the Rams. Their defense overperformed last season, and then they lost Aaron Donald, but they drafted well. Dude, they're a Super Bowl team right now. They lost their starting cornerback. They signed Jerry Jacobs, who was an ex-Lion starter. Ex-Lion starters. I don't want an ex-Lion starting cornerback, dude. That means he probably fucking sucked. So we need to watch out for the Rams defense. Might not be doing well, but hey, that's better for your off. That's better for Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp and everybody else on the offense.
Yeah. My dad actually sent me a text and he's all, you could use this in your show. The Rams running back tore his ACL out for the season. And I was all, what?
Cornerback.
I was all looking at it and it was all the cornerback. I'm like, dear God, Dad. You don't know what you just did. Yeah. I mean,
what did he do?
I was like, emergency. Wooey.
You thought it was like running back. You thought it was running back. And it was
because he said running back. He's the running back for the Rams tore his ACL. And I was like, holy crap. You got to get this on the air right now.
And Kyren was already having foot injuries, so it's like, oh, shit. Blake Corum, top 10 pick. Top 15 pick.
Yep.
All right, man. Speaking of top 15 picks, Jason, Nick Chubb is out here making cuts with tremendous agility. So I've had Jerome Ford ranked higher than most people because, last time we saw Nick Chubb, his leg was going in every single direction. And that's not good. But, dude, steroids are a miracle. Dude, steroids and science are a miracle these days. So between the two, we got some growth hormones in there. He's probably eating all the chicken with the biotics, man. He's like, no antibiotics. No, fuck that. I'm getting all the biotics. So he's healing out here, Jason. Nick Chubb might be a league winner this year. I mean, Jason, Nick Chubb on that team, if he's getting 50% of the workload, is going to be a running back too. So I don't know what to do with him right now.
Yeah, me either. Jamie did actually put that out there. He said Nick Chubb was sprinting with his one leg. Yeah. So his leg reminded me of those measurements where it's like a 90-degree angle. That's what I could like use his leg to like paint or like hang a shelf or something like that.
It's a square, yeah. It's making a square.
It's half a square. It's making a half a square. 90-degree angle. Yeah. The more this goes on, like what Nick Chubb's going like the 10th round right now, the more this goes on, he's going to be drafted in like the 5th or 6th round.
I think he's going to make our bandwagon show, Jason, because I keep on hearing crazy shit. He just grew an extra testicle. I got one testicle out here, Jason. This fucker's got 3. His he just lifted up a truck to save a bunch of burning children. Anyways, I'm just saying things are getting out of hand with the way they are writing about Nick Chubb.
Yeah, I mean, why were the children burning?
I've been watching too much of The Boys, dude. There's a lot of weird shit in that TV show. Yeah. All right, man. Lastly, J.K. Dobbins is now faster than ever. He tore his ACL. Guess what, dude? That just made him faster. Have you ever seen Rookie of the Year, Jason? He hurt his arm, and it made him the hardest thrower in the world.
Yeah, but it took one slip, and then he had to go to softball pitch. Remember that? So what if J.K. Dobbins just gets hit once, and then he's back to wobbling out there?
Jason, I was the only pitcher in all of high school that actually did that pitch, but I did it overhand. But I would act like I'm going to throw it hard, grimace at him, and I would be like this. Woo! And that movie, man, gave me motivation since I was a little kid. So
I remember that batter, dude. The batter that he was going up against, like this. Yeah.
Oh my god, dude!
And his mom floated up. This was your glove, Mom? This was your glove?
I was going to say Nacho Butt, but that is Angels in the outfield. Nacho Butt. All right, Jason, let's get into the meat of this episode. I've been talking too much. Do you want to go? Let's go by ADP, because I do want to say that the earlier players in this, so we're going to 6th to 10th round, mid-round gems.
You have 5 players, right?
Yeah, we've got 10 total, dog, but 5 each.
I got 4, so why don't you go first to kind of just like, so you start it and end it.
Oh, so you tricked me, huh? You're like, hey, we're doing 10 players, Tyler.
I was like, I want you to do the extra work and put in one more.
Well, that's funny because I've got like 20. I was actually going to go over at the very
Yeah. And like when you said that, I went back and was like looking, I'm like, dude, there is like a lot of potential for mid-round gems. So it's like, it's hard. I had to like choose my favorite ones, like out of, 30 that could do well for you. But these are going to be doing super well.
Hey, you got to give this guy his flowers, Jason. Nobody's talking about this guy. I mean, I actually saw an article written today maybe on him. I kind of got upset because I was like, God damn it, I just wrote about this guy. Don't read this. But yeah, so mid-round gems, Zay Flowers. I'm actually going to, I was all about Keenan Allen and Kenneth Walker and Raheem Mostert last year. And I had to, I was about Calvin Ridley and Drake London. I was an idiot sometimes too. But, instead of going variety, Jason, like I did last year, I didn't want to hit the same players over and over again. Dude, we're hitting the same players over and over again. I want you guys to draft like me. So
that's how it happens.
Yeah. So we're going to be doing this, man. I'm going to hit it home. And guess what, Jason? I could have copied and pasted shit, but I did all the research over again. So I can kind of get some new stuff in here. So if you're a returning customer, stick around because there will be new shit. Zay Flowers, man, ADP 62. That is early 6th round. So 6th round begins ADP 61. So if you want him in the 6th round, you might have to go 5th round for Zay Flowers. That's usually when I draft him. Wide receiver 30 finished last year. You're like, what the hell do I care about him, dude? Well, Mark Andrews had a season-ending injury week 11. And from then on, he got targeted more often and more importantly in the end zone. So he had 1 end zone target with Mark Andrews, 6 without Mark Andrews. And dude, without that, after Mark Andrews went out, he had 20 plus points in 4 of the last 5 games played in the regular season. That made him wide receiver 15. So he's already almost a wide receiver 1 right there. He had a 1.7 point game, Jason. I can't remember who it was, but it was just a terrible game. They got blown out. It was terrible. If you throw that game out, he was wide receiver 3 with Keenan Allen during that stretch. So you're getting a wide receiver. I mean, I know he was wide receiver 30, but he has literally top 5 upside. He was my favorite wide receiver, Jason. Go back and watch the show. Last year, coming out of the draft, my comp to him was Antonio Brown. And then halfway through the season, everybody's like, this guy's like Antonio Brown. I'm like, well, shit, dude, that's what I said. Same size, route running, everything about him. And then Jason, I talked about 4 of those last 5 games dominating. Well, in the playoffs, they dominated Houston. They did not need him. And then the one game where they played the Chiefs and it sucked, he had 5 receptions for 115 yards and 1 touchdown. And he should have had 2 touchdowns. You remember how he got tackled in the goat trying to cross the line? He should have had 2 touchdowns, man. And then Jason. So I was going through all this. He's going as wide receiver 24. And he has he's going as wide receiver 24, and he literally has top 5 upside. I have him ranked, Jason. Shit, man. What do I have him ranked, man? Flowers as wide receiver 16. That's 8 above his ADP. He's going as a wide receiver 24, like I said. So yeah, man, huge values. And then I pulled a comment from Reddit. Mark Andrews. He's only cleared 900 yards once. Mark Andrews' best season where he received 154 targets. Hollywood Brown got 145 targets, man. So that was in a Greg Roman offense, and now he's in the Monken offense. He just threw for the most passing attempts he's ever had in his career. And now he has a second season in this offense. So I'm telling you, if Hollywood Brown had 145 targets with Mark Andrews during his best season, if Zay Flowers gets 145 targets, he's going to be a top 10 wide receiver, and you're getting him as a wide receiver 26. So, or wide receiver 24 right now. And he's entering his second season, Jason. That is historically a huge bump to rookie wide receivers. He showed up in the playoffs, and I do know that Mark Andrews is coming back, and that is a whole different ballgame. But, dude, I'm telling you, it was a good thing that he went down last year. He got to discover using Zay Flowers. So maybe it won't be that top 5 potential, but it might be somewhere in between. So he has a potential to be a top 12, a wide receiver 1 for you, and is going as a flex option. The value here is undeniable, Jason.
Yeah, and the Ravens score a lot of points too. So it's like you normally want to pick players that can score a lot of points. Do we know, did Mark Andrews finish the year last year? Did he play all 17 games? Or the year before that, sorry, 2022. For some reason, I'm thinking he's gone quite a few years without actually finishing a season. And if that's the case,
Jason, injury. We don't like to predict injuries, but yeah, dude, Mark Andrews gets injured a lot.
So it's there's ways to, you follow patterns, because that's huge. Because if he's going to miss time, Zay Flowers is going to definitely step up. They got rid of Odell Beckham. They're like, we don't need to bring him back.
Thank you. I was like, dude, they saw Zay Flowers. They were like, we've got Mark Andrews coming back. We've got Zay Flowers. They have got Derrick Henry now, so the running game is gonna be like, what the shit, dude? We're gonna be stacked boxes all the time, Jason. Zay Flowers, God, I'm telling you, if I can get Zay Flowers every time, I literally will.
And I think what's good too is when Mark Andrews did go down last year, and Isaiah likely did well. It didn't matter. Zay Flowers still did well without Mark Andrews.
Good point. They were I think he was still a top 3, almost tied in, top 5 at least. And yeah. So, but dude, I'm just saying it was good that he went down and had to trust Flowers. And by the end of the year, man, I said it was an Amon-Ra type finish. Well, Amon-Ra St. Brown, his rookie year, just killed it in the last month. And that's what Zay Flowers did. And then the next year, Amon-Ra was a huge league winner. So, if the trend continues, Flowers, man, in the 6th round, dear Lord, Jason. All right, what's up?
Let's go with Zack Moss. Wait, you're done, right?
Yeah, I would just I was like, dude, yeah, that's a good pick. I really thought about doing Zack Moss, and anyways, I'll talk about it later. Yeah,
this is I was on the Chase Brown bandwagon. Well, okay, hold on. So, Zack Moss is going 99.5 overall. That's the 29th running back. He was a backup to Jonathan Taylor, but when given a chance, he produced RB1 numbers last year. Taylor was out until week 5, and Moss went out there and was RB8 during that span up to week 5. Taylor came back in week 5, but Moss still out-snapped Taylor until week 8. By that time, Moss was RB4 between weeks 2 and 8. He finished the year averaging 15 touches a game, but when starting for the Colts, he had 22 opportunities, 33 opportunities, 19 and 25. He had 3 more games with over 20 opportunities. That's like total touches for a game. So this guy was getting bell cow type numbers. With those touches, he was 15th in missed tackles forced per attempt and 18th in yards after contact per attempt. That's not the best, right? But it's definitely not the worst. And he's a starting running back in the Joe Burrow's offense going in the 8th round. Chase Brown will cut into his receptions, but what we have here is the early down back who would also get the goal line carries, and he's replacing Joe Mixon, who had 13 goal line carries last year. So it's important to note that when the Bengals get down on the goal line, they're not, asking Joe Burrow to run it in. They're giving it to the running back. And the goal line back will be Zack Moss.
Yeah, and so there was a couple threads on how do we feel about Zack Moss, how do we feel about Chase Brown, and people were talking so much shit about Chase Brown pass protecting.
Yep.
And then the next day, somebody came out with a huge thread. He didn't have many chances to pass protect, but he actually did pretty well. But I would assume that Chase Brown will keep his role from last year. I mean, he does look like a bigger – I need to look at his size, but, dude, Zack Moss is badass. Remember when he went to Buffalo, he's like, holy shit. They're like, okay, but how fast this guy is, blah, 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 blah. And he was actually really good, but I think he got injured. I think that, he is the top back, and if he does not get injured, he could be he could literally be a number 1 running back, dude, Jason, on that team for Joe Burrow. Did you see his hair, dude? He is gonna bring his alter ego to this. He shaved his hair like Slim Shady. He's Slim Shady right now, Jason.
Will the real Joe please stand up?
I'm getting messed up. I start talking, and then all of a sudden I don't know where I'm going with what I'm saying. But yeah, Zack Moss, man, in that offense, I know they lost Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon's one of the most inefficient fucking running backs over the last 5 years. And then you put Zack Moss in that situation. I think that the risk is worth it. Which round did you say he's going in, Jason?
He's getting drafted 99th overall. So in the 12-man league, that's the 8th round.
Yeah, dude, I think that's amazing. So, I mean, this is like a Raheem Mostert literally from last year. You know what I'm saying? And this year. We'll talk about Raheem Mostert later. But if you can target these running backs that have a potential to start, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to do it. So, and he's an older running back. He's fast. This is literally like Raheem Mostert, except for it's not like Zack Moss is from that offensive coordinator like he was with Josh McDaniels. So that's the only difference there, which is a big difference. But still, man, it's like a Raheem Mostert situation. So take advantage of it. Jason, you ready for the next one?
Let's hear it.
You and I are both on this, dude. We talk about him all the time. Zamir White. So he has been going up. I don't even know where my pen went, dude. God dang it. Oh, here it is. So Zamir White, the big Z. Jason, he didn't get a chance to start until Josh Jacobs came through. I think the big stat here is I'm not even reading from my notes, man. Before, when Josh Daniels was the coach for the Las Vegas Raiders, they averaged 70 rushing yards per game, Jason. Antonio Pierce came in, they averaged 109. That is 39 more rushing yards per game. Well, that's like a 50%. That's like a 50% increase. Like a 50% increase, more than that. So Antonio Pierce, defense, he's a linebacker, man, from the Giants. He beat Tom Brady, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just like they want to run the ball. And once he got in there, it was a 70% plus usage rate out of a running back. So he likes bell cow. He's old school, man. Bell cow running back. Who are the running backs on the squad, Jason? Do you know?
Alexander Madison.
And Amir Ablangata. Amir Mandula Ablangata.
He's still on the team?
Yeah, dude. So, and this guy, he's 6 foot, 215 pounds. He was drafted in the 4th round, Jason. He's from Georgia. And so he's got talent. So I'm not even reading from I need to go back to my notes. Let's see. He was running back 9 from when he got the start week 15 on. All right. So running back 9 going in the 7th round. Okay. He averaged 23 touches and 114 yards per game over those 4 weeks. He was 13th in explosive rate. Explosive rate is what? Like, I think you any rush over 10 yards.
Yes.
13th in that. 6th in yards after contact per attempt. When I read that, I was like, oh, Antonio Pierce. All that guy wants is yards after contact. He's a fucking defensive player, man. That's all he wants. That's probably his biggest stat. And so Zamir White, and all I hear, dude, when you do research on Zamir White, is Antonio Pierce is in love with this guy. They've got a great relationship. He's at the top of the depth chart. They were 18th in run block win rate. So even though they're not that great at it, they do run the ball a lot. He's going as running back 22, Jason. So running back 9 is pretty much what he was doing last year. And he's going as running back 22. So this is the kind of shit that you need to take advantage of, man, right here. You have to get Zamir White. I know he was going super late, Jason. Now he's in the 7th round. I don't give if he's in the fucking 5th round, draft him. Please draft him. So he's at the 15th strength of schedule. That's average, but that's all I have to say about him, Jason.
Yeah, this guy, he killed it last year. He did well in the fantasy playoffs too, right? I think he did. I'm trying to look it up right now, but I'm kind of.
Well, yeah. I mean, he was running back 9 over that stretch. I mean, he averaged 119, 109, 100. What was that? 119 rushing yards per game over that last stretch. So even if he didn't kill it, his floor was so high during that.
Yeah. And I believe the only reason why that he is not, going even higher for being a running back on definitely a run first team. I mean, you can't tell me they brought in players that will make you think otherwise, that they're going to go crazy and bring in the freaking jets and fuel the jet, and they'll fuel the jet.
They're going to let Minshew air it out, man. That's how you win the games. That's how you win games. Let Minshew air it out.
They're going to let him air it out. Yeah. No, and I think the only concern why he's even fallen back is because this guy has, out of 2 years, has a total of like 121 carries. So it's like, oh, there's not enough like stats to go around. I'm like, dude, do you not understand that they didn't bring anybody to replace this guy to even challenge him for the starting role, and they're going to run the ball. He's going to be the guy. Devontae Adams, Zamir White. That's going to be the game plan.
Brock Bowers too. I do believe in Brock Bowers this year, Jason. I'm a Brock Bowers pusher honor. I think he's going to be a top 7 tight end. All right, Jason. Next up,
Tyler, are we going to do a second-year video? Oh, I think we already did that. I think that was we did that months ago, right?
I don't think we did, dude. We could do it, though.
I think we did. Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe even like a rookie video, too. Just what rookies we really think that are going to break out and need a target.
All right, Tyler, let's go. Let's make this one easy, all right? Let's go Ezekiel Elliot. Where are we at? Okay. He is currently going in the 9th round. Last year, Cowboys struggled at the goal line, or Tony Pollard struggled at the goal line. Pollard was 6th in goal line carries inside the 5, but only had 3 touchdowns, which was one of the worst stats in the league. They let him go to free agency. Cowboys don't sign a star running back. They don't draft a rookie. They sign Ezekiel Elliott. Now, this guy, he's not a sexy pick for fantasy football because his running metrics are not great. They actually kind of get worse over the years. But the dude could catch. He had 51 receptions last season, mainly as a backup on the Patriots. Dude had 51 receptions as a backup running back on the Patriots last year. And he's a beast when it comes to short yard and goal line carries. In 2022, with the Dallas Cowboys, he averaged 12.4 points per game, which was 22nd for running backs. And he is currently being drafted as RB 35. He is touchdown dependent, but he gets his touchdowns. In 2022, after week 6, he had 12 straight games with a rushing touchdown. He averaged 50 yards and a score with a couple of catches. I don't expect him to get 230 carries like he's done in the past, maybe closer to like 200, but he has proven reliable at the goal line. And even though the Cowboys were so bad converting goal line carries into touchdowns, they passed up everybody. They passed up all the running backs like they had chances on, and they bring back Ezekiel Elliot. And he will be a part of another high-scoring Cowboys offense in 2024.
Are you guys? I was sorry. I finally signed into YouTube, and I was reading the comments, and it's like Jamie Craig's like J-Lo making that money.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. So actually, Elliott and Christian Kirk are my biggest values of the draft. I've got Ezekiel Elliott, Jason, ranked as running back 21, and he is going as running back 35. So to me, he is a running back 2. If you get him as your flex, Jason, like if you have Ezekiel Elliott as your flex, you're going to get a touchdown so often. So I don't know if you went over it. I heard you talk about Tony Pollard being poor in the red zone, but I think he had like the second most red zone opportunities, and Ezekiel Elliott like killed it in the red zone for the Patriots. He just didn't have any opportunities. So
Tony Pollard was 6th in rushing attempts inside the 5-yard line, and he only had 3 touchdowns out of all those attempts.
Thank you. So, but if you look at, I think Ezekiel Elliott had like 6 rushes in the 5 and 3 touchdowns. That's a video. That video is a long time ago. I don't know if that's correct or not.
Say that again, Tyler. I'm sorry.
I'm pretty sure that Ezekiel Elliott had 6 rushes in the 5, within the 5-yard line, and 3 touchdowns on those 6 rushes. I was saying, but that was from a long time ago. I'm not really sure if that's correct or not.
Yeah. Would you say there's a possibility that let's say, a discounted David Montgomery? How would you feel about that?
Are you talking about Ezekiel Elliott being a discounted David Montgomery?
Yeah.
Dude, well, Elliott is the starter. Montgomery is not the starter.
Right, but they're still going to have like kind of the same role, right? Do you think David Montgomery is going to be rushing over 70 yards every game and a touchdown?
I think I would rather have Elliott all day, way over Montgomery.
Okay. I just wanted to throw that out there.
I've got Montgomery ranked 27th, and I've got Zeke 21st.
Okay.
So I've got Zeke over Mostert because it's like Zeke is the number 1 running back there. So yeah, he's the end of my number 1 running back. So if that I guess Swift is the end of my number 1 running backs, I guess. Sure. All right, Jason, let's move on to the next one. Ezekiel Elliott, man. If you didn't do it, I would have done it because I'm drafting him every time if I can.
Yeah, I think he's kind of an easy one.
Speaking of easy, Jason, James Conner. So James Conner, man, if you drafted him last year, you probably did pretty well. Especially if you held on to him and didn't get rid of him. He is going ADP of 81. That is in 7th round. He finished as running back 18, even though he missed 4 games due to injury, Jason, in the middle of the season. So this kind of blew my mind. I don't know if I've talked about this before. I've talked about James Conner like 5 different times and done my little research on him, but for the first time I noticed this, I think. Jason, he was running back 1. He averaged 23.9 points per game from week 13 on. So from week 13 on, in PPR, he was running back 1 at 23 points. Now it was, barely above Christian McCaffrey and Brees Hall. They all averaged like 23 point something. But still, James Conner, he's a top 3 potential? What the fuck, man? Kyler Murray returned week 10, so he had 3 kind of shitty games and then just took off. And then the stickiest stat for running backs, Jason, the one that tells me he's not getting old, 8th in forced missed tackles per attempt, and then 5th in yards after contact per attempt. Another defensive head coach, Jason, Jonathan Gannon. So to me, I'm like, all right, he's not getting old. I can see the forced missed tackles per attempt. And then the yards after contact, The coach loves that shit. And if you listen to everything coming out of the minicamp and all of the coaches, James Conner, workhorse, James Conner, workhorse, James Conner, number one back, going to get everything there is. Trey Benson's rookie. He's got to learn. So to me, maybe Trey Benson will be a big thing next year, but I am all about him this year. This reminds me of Kenneth Walker when they got Charbonnet. Dude, Kenneth Walker was killing it until he got injured. So James Conner, I think people are just assuming that he's going to get eaten into by Trey Benson, but that will not be the case. In Arizona, dude, they were 10th in run rate. They run the fuck out of the ball. They were 6th in run block win rate, Jason. So you don't think about Arizona being good at running the ball. They run it often, and they're good at it. He's going as running back 23, Jason, and he literally can be a top 5 running back. Now, I think top 10, I do think that he will be a top 12 running back at the end of the season if he stays healthy. But getting a running back 1 as running back 23 in the 7th round, that's literally a 0 running back strategy, and we're doing hero, so he'd be your second running back. You could fill out your roster, Jason, and get him, James Conner, as your second running back. That is the thing dreams are made of.
Yeah, dude, there's no doubt. He's a good runner, yeah. And he's been a bell cow running back his entire career. And let's see, I think he was in the top 10 in opportunity share. That's going to stay the same until he's not producing anymore, right? He's still going to be the guy in the Cardinals. Like, it's his job to lose. And he's still playing pretty well. It's just that one thing. That one thing.
Carter Mario, dude. Carter Mario. You better remember these broad shoulders as I time my green light right, and I bust right through yourself with my turbocharge because you didn't time it right. Anyways, Carter Mario, thank you for joining us.
Carter Mario, I'm pretty sure he's talking about Bowser and not himself.
I'm talking about Donkey Kong and not myself. I've never, okay. Jason, I've ridden go-karts, but I never put the pedal to the metal because I'm afraid. I never get that turbo. I can do it in the video games, though. All right, man. Jason, what's up? What's next?
Jaylen Warren. Let's talk about this guy.
Holy crap, Jason. We got a person, Andrew G. Andrew G. Is that Mo G? I don't know. Andrew G, dude, is a part of our Patreon. So I'm going to start checking the message board. To Carter Mario. Holy shit. Dude.
Did I just earn $2.50?
Carter Mario, man. All right. Well, I'm going to be posting my rankings a lot on there. We're going to have our rankings, as much as we can. But I'm going to be checking my message board. So if you ever just want to talk or you got questions, just hit us up on the message board because I think that's for members only. So, dude, you are the man, Jason. We actually made money off this show. The first money ever made on the Fantasy Red Zone comes from Carter Mario. Holy shit. I will never make you spin out. You can spin me out.
Ooh, that got kind of weird.
I'm talking about, dude, carts, the Mario carts.
I'm talking about Jason.
Shut up, dude. All right, who's next?
Jaylen Warren. We need to print out that receipt, Tyler, and hang it behind us.
I know nothing about Patreon. I'm assuming it probably goes direct to our bank account, and then I'll just send you a screenshot of what I got, and I'll 50-50.
Nice. I got a baby. Did you hear what I said? You got Warren?
I'm happy, dude. I'm so happy right now. That's amazing.
I know, dude. It's exciting times, dude. I could go on this whole episode just talking about how excited I am. Carter Mario, for real. I can't wait to tell my wife. She's like, you need to hurry up and make it big so I can stay home with Lucas.
Well, baby, you got 250, man. We're
I got 250.
You want iced tea or do you want Diet Coke?
But don't ask for cream, though.
Who are you doing? Oh, Jaylen Warren.
Jaylen Warren. All right, here we go. I'm going to get into this. He's going in the round 7 to 8 round turn. With Najee Harris a few picks later, but give me the better running back, and that running back is Jaylen Warren. Both have the potential to be a top 20 running back, but Warren could get there with his explosive plays. He was first in juke rate, 5th in evaded tackles, and 3rd in breakaway run rate. These are Jahmyr Gibbs type numbers, who's being drafted in the top 12. Then he was 2nd in yards per contact per attempt, But the stick of the stickiest stat, Tyler, you just said it. He was number one in missed tackles forced per attempt. He is arguably the hardest running back to tackle in 2023. And that mofo was 9th in yards per route run and 5th in receptions, which means he is highly involved in the passing game. And I see that continuing with Arthur Smith as the offensive coordinator, because Bijan Robinson had 58 receptions in 2023. And their current quarterback, Russell Wilson, was the check down rate leader last season. Warren only carried the ball 149 times that season, which was 8 per game. The volume is the only issue. But Arthur Smith's run rate the last 2 seasons were in the top 4 in the league. So I expect that number to increase closer to like 185, plus another 75 targets to match his 2023 total. That's around 260 opportunities to score you points. That is 12 fewer touches than what Bijan Robinson had last year, and he finished as RB9 in PPR with Arthur Smith as the head coach.
So I was listening to God damn it, dude, Colin Cowherd today. Then the beat writer was saying that they might be starting 2 rookies at offensive line. One is awesome, but still they've been investing a lot in their offensive line over the last couple of years, but still it might be a weakness. Arthur Smith will run the ball a lot. So Jason, who do you have ranked higher? Because I've got Warren ranked 30th, where he's going 25. So I've got like Chubb, and I'm going to probably move forward behind him now that Chubb's doing so well. But I've got Montgomery ahead of him and Najee ahead of him. Najee I've got ranked 26th. Who would you rather have, Najee or Ty Warren?
Jaylen Warren?
Jeez, dude.
So, like I said in the beginning of the thing, they both have the potential to be a top 20 running back, but give me the better running back, and that is Jaylen Warren. He's a better catcher and a better runner.
So, when I was reading the stats, man, about Jaylen Warren being the number 1 in all these categories, and just watching him last season, I was like, dude, I want that guy. And then Arthur Smith went there, and I was like, shit, this could be either amazing or it could be just terrible. So there is a lot of risk there, but he's going pretty late, and where you have to get him, you're messing with Pollard and Spears and Javonte and Singletary. Give me Jaylen Warren over all those guys.
And I like that you said that they're doing better with their offensive line, because they are. They drafted a player last year, Broderick Jones. Is that right? They also got somebody free agency, and then they got somebody this year.
The best blocking tight end since Mercedes Lewis.
Darnell
Washington. Thank you.
Yeah. They are improving it. Yeah. Even though I do think both running backs are going to be in the top 20 by the end of the year. I think they're going to run the hell out of the ball. I can't hear you, Tyler. I think you're on mute.
If you tell me Justin Fields is the quarterback, fucking A, man, they're going to be running the hell of the ball. If you tell me that Russell Wilson's the quarterback, yeah, they're going to be running the fucking hell out of the ball. So either way, whoever quarterback it is, they're going to be running the hell out of the ball. And as long as if their offensive line holds up, but just think about their division, man. That division's so tough, especially for running backs. It's just scary to me, but where he's going, you have I would be targeting him out of that group of running backs.
Yep. Especially
my next up. Right? Yeah. All right, dude. I think I've got a good one. Oh yeah, this guy. You've heard me talk about this guy forever. If you like Star Trek, you're like, Khan. So we got Christian Kirk here. We got Christian Kirk, man. Oh my god. So yeah, Christian Kirk, man, his ADP is AD6. That's the 8th round. So 8th round, all right, and he's the number 1 on a depth chart. That's the kind of shit you're looking for. What was Nico Collins on the Houston depth chart last year? I think he might have been number 1. He's going in the 10th round or some shit. I don't know. So he finished as wide receiver 47 last year. He had a season-ending injury week 13, so that's why he was so late. He was wide receiver 23 before that injury, with Ridley being wide receiver 22. And if you don't count, right, he had a terrible game week 1. He was wide receiver 17 without that. So a very high end wide receiver 2, you're getting in the 8th round. And wide receivers, look at how championships were won last year. Dude, drafting wide receivers early and just having that really good, like having 2 elite wide receivers and a top end wide receiver 3 just helped people win championships last year. And if you can get this guy in the 8th round, he could be your wide receiver 3 and literally have a wide receiver 2 numbers. That's how you're going to win a championship. But so Ridley, right? He had 17th in targets with 136, Jason. So Ridley is gone. He had 136 targets last year. Christian Kirk, he needed just 133 targets to be wide receiver 12 in 2022. That was the last time he was number 1 on this depth chart. He's number 1 on this depth chart again. Calvin Ridley was number 1 on the depth chart last year. Zay Jones is gone as well. They brought in Gabe Davis. Who gives a fuck about that? But yeah, they did draft Brian Robinson Jr. in the 1st round. Maybe he takes off in the second half of the year. Maybe he does not. The one thing that I know is that Christian Kirk is going to be heavily targeted, man, because dude, he had a 23% target share, even with Ridley. And Ridley was getting 136 targets. And so if Christian Kirk just gets what Ridley got, he could literally be a top 12 wide receiver, and he's going as wide receiver 36. So this is my biggest value, Jason, in the entire draft, Christian Kirk. I've got him ranked. Jesus Christ. Let me put up my wide receivers. Oh, sorry. I shouldn't say that name. JC. Kirk, dude, ranked 20th. So I have him as an easy wide receiver 2, and he's going as wide receiver 36. All right. He's going past flex here, man. Bottom end flex. It's terrible. So biggest draft. So if you're going to draft anybody, man, I drafted wide receiver heavy last year. Jefferson and Adams picked up Puka. Dude, Jamie and I were just talking about Puka all year last year. It was like, that was one of those. I'm glad that you did that, Jamie, because it gave me somebody to talk to. Anyways, Pukachu. I choose you, Pukachu. That was all Jamie. But Jason, how do you feel about Christian Kirk? Wait. Am I done talking about him, Jason? Am I done talking about him? Yeah, I am. 8th. He's got the 8th strength of schedule, but as in our strength of schedule video, it really doesn't matter for wide receivers.
I think you and I are kind of higher on the wide receivers and quarterback for the Jaguars. I mean, like the value, right? Like Trevor Lawrence is going in like the late pick. Christian Kirk is going later than years before. And last year, this dude was like having career stats before his injury, Tyler. Like, okay, let me tell you this. His pace last year before his injury was, I had this. Okay, he would have finished the season with 138 targets, 94 receptions, and 1,278 receiving yards. That's like, that's insane. That was the pace of what he was doing last year before he got injured. Let's say this guy is now going to play the whole season healthy. He's going to be battling against a Gabe Davis. What? He's like, what? Every 7 games he wants to show up? He's not there. And then stop. Put your tongue away. Have you 22 Jump Street where he's like putting.
That was all.
Remember 21 Jump Street?
Yeah.
Put that tongue away. Don't do that. Yeah, and Calvin Ridley's gone, and then they also got a rookie, Brian Thomas Jr., right? So he's going to be the guy. He was like top 14, top 15 in slot snaps, which is huge for PPR. I think he's kind of going under the radar here, and Christian Kirk could have a big year.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, Christian Kirk, we're going to hit that again. If you draft every one of these players, man, like you're going to it's going to be good. I'm just saying. So, I mean, this is a huge hit. It's not quite Keenan Allen. Like, I'm like, oh my God, dude, Keenan Allen's going to kill it. But it's like Keenan Allen light. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know he's going to be a wide receiver 2. And he's going as wide receiver 3+. And it's just crazy. So this is how you win your shit, man, right here. All right, Jason, next up.
All right, this is my last one. This is my big dog. I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm doing it, okay? Christian Watson. Bow, bow, bow. Okay, so Watson's 8th round ADP is one of the best spots to draft a league winner. That is 3 rounds later than his 2023 ADP. He is someone you should target because you don't lose leagues after round 7, but you can win it. And Watson can win you a league. Where he's at, you could take that risk, right? If he gets hurt again, you're like, whatever. He was an 8th round pick, whatever. He started off on my bench. But if he did manage to figure out his hamstring and stay healthy, then you're going to look like a genius in your league. In weeks 5 through 13, he led the team in target share, air yards, yards per route run, end zone targets, and first read share. And he could score points. Week 12 and 13, before his injury, he scored over 20 points. That is all wide receiver 1 stats. So you're getting a wide receiver 1 in the 8th round, and with a quarterback who's projected to throw 30 touchdowns this upcoming season. He was tied with Jayden Reed, averaging 6 targets a game, and when healthy, he still doubled Dontavian Wick's snap count in every game. So he was on the field. Jayden will get his points from playing the Percy Harvin type role, of course, but he is going a round earlier. If you're telling me I could get a wide receiver 1 who can score 20 points in multiple games a year, a round later in the 8th, I will take that all day.
Jason, our first year on this show, I was pushing Christian Watson from North Dakota State, and he was injured a lot. And then the second year, he was injured a lot. So it's like, yeah, there's a lot of risk here, but where you are getting him to get your potential there, dude, is massive. Jordan Love just got paid. They obviously believe in him. And then the biggest thing I saw from football people on the radio, I think we talked about this, Jason, on when we're playing Apex Legends, was that they run 2 wide receiver sets all the time. All right. 3. And that's when Jaylen Warren was like the wide receiver 3. What is his name? Jayden Reed. Jayden Reed was the wide receiver 3. So as much as I like Jayden Reed, because I mean, Romeo Dobbs is kind of whatever. I think he's going to be a permanent flex for the next 5-7 years. Okay. That's where he's going to be. But the people that can really change your team, maybe Jayden Reed or Christian Watson. Those are the 2 options there. And Jayden Reed only does 3 wide receiver sets. Well, they mostly run 2 wide receiver sets, Jason, and Christian Watson's out there on every 2 wide receiver set. And now they had all those injured tight ends last year. What will happen when all those injured tight ends are healthy? And now they're going to be running even more 2 wide receiver sets. So I know that kind of goes a little bit deep in the woods on the football side, but I think that matters as far as opportunity goes. So Christian Watson's, I kind of shifted my target from Jayden Reed to Christian Watson after listening to that conversation.
Yeah, with him just falling, I hope he doesn't climb the ranks though. But just think about 7th round, Jordan Love, 8th round, Christian Watson, boom, stack. And then, like I said, man, you're getting him so late. Like if he gets hurt, you're like, whatever, dude, because he's probably your first bench player that you're drafting if you're waiting on tight ends and quarterbacks. So
if he gets hurt, it's like, whatever, dude.
Yeah, it's like, whatever, dude. But he was an 8th round pick. He was a bench player. Right?
I think that's funny. If anybody gets injured, man, my kicker, I'm like, what the God hates me.
God hates me.
Fuck.
Why?
Jason's over here like, whatever, dude. Just my 8th round pick.
Well, I say that unless they were like my top 7 picks, and then I'm like, God hates me. I should have ran that red light. I shouldn't have, thrown that stick at that kid or something 20 years ago.
All right, Jason, I'm trying to look for my Watson. I've got some people over Watson, I think. Did I forget to, oh no, I have him late. I've got Xavier Worthy. I need to change my Watson rankings. I have not changed my Watson rankings since listening to that episode. So I need to swap him with Reed. So he will be changed out to wide receiver 32 instead of 43. So I will be swapping those 2. And you can only get that information if you're like Cardiff Mario and subscribe and get to our Patreon.
Hey, Tyler,
no, we're going to be giving this information for free too. But when it really matters, you always have it on Patreon at least.
So Tyler, the wide receiver core for the Packers. There's 4 of them, right? There's Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs, and Dontavian Wicks. What's wrong with those 4 that would you rather have?
I'm sorry, dude. I just read JB Craig's comment, and I saw you walking into a locker room as a coach. You're all chewing your gum, and you're all, whatever, dude.
Oh, shoot, man. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Oh, shit. But Dontavian Wicks, man, like I've heard, they've literally made articles pushing every single player. But the one player I know that will be a wide receiver 1 is Christian Watson, man. I think it was the 3rd round. I think they drafted him in the 3rd round. Maybe even the 2nd. I can't remember. But yeah, Christian Watson is the one I want. I've made up my mind. That's who I want from this team.
Well, I mean, it's tough, right? Jaden Reed could get you the rushing touchdowns. Christian Watson, he's an explosive. He's one of the tallest, fastest wide receivers that they got. Romeo Dobbs, he does nothing but catch touchdowns. Dontavian Wicks, he's probably the best route runner on the team. Wicks has got a pretty good value, though, for how late he's going. But I feel like for him to get on the field, there's going to have to be an injury. So you have to, draft Wicks and hope there's an injury.
There's value to be found on this team, Jason, because nobody knows what's going to happen. They know the quarterback's going to be great, but which tight end is going to be benefiting from this, and which wide receiver it is. So it's kind of like CJ Stroud, situation. It's like who's going to be the one, and if you choose right, you're going to get it. You're going to hit. So Christian Watson, even with the history from last year, dude, and the way they scheme up things, is the best bet. And Musgrave, I would assume, is going to be better than that other tight end, because there was a tight end there that was killing it at the end of last year too.
Kraft.
Thank you, Jason. Ooh, all right, man.
Let's finish this thing.
I'm sorry. Are we going long? Yeah, we are.
No,
all right, Raheem Mostert, Jason. ADP 100, 9th round. I meant to say what I can't remember. I wanted to go do the research to see where he went last year. I just think it's crazy he went so late last year. He fucking finished his wide receiver 5 or his running back 5, and guess what? He's going late this year. He missed the final 2 games, and he still was running back 5. Jason, 11th in forced missed tackles per attempt. So just like James Conner, look at that. Just look at that stat, and it's just like looking at Keenan Allen's route running from the year before, last year. This guy is not washed. All right, so he was 6th in explosive rate again, dude. Runs over 10 yards. The way that Mostert runs in the 49ers / Josh McDaniels offense, big plays, dude. Let's see, weeks 3 through 5, when Achane was running back 1 and exploded. This is the big thing, because Achane is ranked so high. He was running back 1. Mostert was running back 3, and he was averaging 22 points per game. So Mostert was still a top 5 running back, even when Achane was killing it. But then Achane got injured. He came back, week 13. And he was running back 15 for the 4 games until Mostert got injured. But during those 4 games where they were still playing together, Mostert was running back, 11. So Mostert was actually ranked higher and a running back 1 for your team during the longer stretch. And after they were kind of playing Achane like they should play Achane, because you can't give Achane the ball a ton of times, Jason. He's going to get injured. So if they play, and so the biggest thing here that scares everybody is they drafted Jaylen Warren, Jason, I think in the 3rd round. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah. Oh yeah. They drafted in the 4th round. And so that's what's scaring people right now. But the Dolphins, man, they are awesome at running the ball. 8th in run block win rate. Josh McDaniels, the running back coach from the 49ers, for God's sakes. So, they want to run the ball. He's going as running back 30, Jason, and he literally could be your running back 1 as long as he does not get injured. So 9th round, running back 1. I mean, James Conner and Raheem Mostert, I don't know who's the better value. And Ezekiel Elliott. If you could go 0 running back, get Raheem Mostert, Ezekiel Elliott, and James Conner, and you'd be like killing people.
Yeah, he went where is it? 85th overall last year. That was his ADP.
So he's going 15 rounds later, Jason, just because they drafted a running back.
Yeah, that is What I had his stats here. Maybe I don't no more. Because I think he only had 25 receptions last year, which was pretty low. He did have over 1,000 yards rushing, but he had one of the most important stats ever, and that is 18 rushing touchdowns, 16 goal line carries, opportunities. That's what more can he ask for? When they get close to the line, when they're a couple yards from the line, they're giving it to this player. Easy touchdowns, easy points. And now you're getting that in what? What'd you say, Tyler? 9th round, 8th round?
Yes, dude. Correct. Sorry, Corion, dude. Tahine. I want to shout out you. You're from Texas, man. We're from Bakersfield. We know about that Mexican food, man. That's Little Mexico. And tahine, man. I introduced it to a bunch of Midwesterners. That's all they do. They sprinkle it on all their fruit now. It's amazing. So if you know what, dude, on the corner street with the dude selling the fruit, putting tahine and lemon juice on everything. Holy shit. So he's doing it with his beer, Jason. I bet you that'd be so good.
It is pretty good.
I think these QBs are getting sick from looking at their fingers. I don't know why I think that's funny. All right, man. Hey, okay, real quick. They're eating W's, Jason. These guys are out here eating W's, man. All right, Jason, here we go. Last up, here's a quick list. I'm just going to read down it real fast. Ramondre Stevenson, Evan Ingram, Amari Cooper, Kyler Murray, Jordan Love, Najee Harris, Nick Chubb, Jake Ferguson, Deontay Johnson. Jason's a big one. And Brock Bowers, Xavier Worthy. I actually highlighted Keon Coleman and Ladd McConkey. Those were the honorable mentions that we were looking at, or that I was looking at least. But that is the show, Jason. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you. These live shows are real fun for us. Hopefully they're fun for you. Dude, shout out to Cart of Mario. I'm pretty sure you are in our listener league. Off the top of my head, I can think of 6 players. We need 8. So hopefully we can get 2 more. But we're probably going to do it regardless. But we will draft as late as possible. I will be reaching out for your emails hopefully soon. And Jason, send us out.
I think we're doing a mock draft this Sunday. And we're going to have a special guest.
Oh, shit. I remember that now. Okay.
A girl. We're trying to pump up those ratings.
We got 3 mans, and one of them is a whoa man.
Whoa, man. Whoa, man.
Whoa, man. And she's she's good because I was trying to get who was I trying to get from her all year? I was trying to get Tony Pollard from her all year. I was like, Tony Pollard's got to break out, right? Right. She did me a huge favor and did not trade me Tony. All she wanted was Puka, and I was like, you will not get Puka. No Puka for no Tony.
No. You can't afford these Puka shells. Well, I guess we'll just see you in the fantasy draft. Deuces.
Hey, this is the Fantasy Red Zone. Please like, please subscribe. Hey, support us on Patreon, man. Talk to us on the Messenger, man. We appreciate you.